Welcome to Inside the Firm, a podcast dedicated to small business owners and hosted by entrepreneurs, Alex Gore and Lance Cayko. Each week, they take you on their journey of how to start, run, and grow a business by bringing you inside their architecture and real estate development firm. Get a behind-the-scenes tour of how these business leaders manage their clients and foster company culture while creating new and innovative projects. And now your hosts, Alex Gore and Lance Cayko.
Lance Cayko, how's it going? I don't even care how you're doing. I'm your host, Al Gore. I'm here with my partner in crime, Lance.
Is that what I am? Partner in crime?
I'd say so.
Yeah.
Business partner. So normally we do our reads, but I got to tell everyone what we just got from Dell. We just put up our 75-inch touchscreen, and it is massive. It is so massive, it comes with 4 permanent handles that are attached to its system, and it looks so cool. And the guys got it to work. We actually used it today for a meeting. There's 2. What's cool, Lance, you see those pens on either side?
I do.
They're magnetic, so you can move them wherever you want, which is awesome. We haven't got the touch portion to work, but
we at least got it hung. I'm happy about that. I'm gonna take a bunch of garbage over to the job site today and throw it away. Clean out the shop.
Yep. But we couldn't get the touch to work. But I think they also sent us this other thing called the Action Tech Screen Beam 960 wireless display receiver. And I think that's what's going to allow us to do the touch, because we have it hooked up to our other screen upstairs because we had a meeting. And it works. This Action Tech, it works so simple. We had to have a Skype meeting with some people that weren't around, and I just literally, like, the guy set it up, and on my computer I could go over to the right hand of my screen and hit connect, and I could find it, and it just displayed great. So we need to get it set up on the 75-inch touchscreen. It's super, super cool. So besides that, if you want to get any of those 2 things or look into those 2 things, what you need to go to is dell.com/inside the firm, right? And then from there, you can hit save now. And during this month, I think I have, the time frames from 5/2. So that's 14 days, 12 days, so many days ago, to 6/3. You get 5% off if you go to dell.com/inside the firm. Or if you want to call them and talk, you can use our reference number, which is on our website, which is insidethefirmpodcast.com. You can find the member ID number for you to get an additional 5% off whatever you buy.
Okay, and when you do that, though, so when you click on, when you go to dell.com/inside the firm, there's going to be that blue button that Alex talked about, Save Now. What I think you need to do is you need to actually right-click on it, open it in a new tab, because then what it does is it's going to prompt you you're going to put in your email, and then you'll get your special code, right? You'll get a coupon code. Keep that original tab, and when you go shopping, here's the key, is you got to go all the way down to the bottom of the screen, click on anything that says like Precision Workstations, something like that, and then you can go up and search for your product and go through it that way. You have to be on the business side of Dell's website in order for it to get it to work. And here's why I know this, okay? I know this is Lance. I know this because I wanted to buy a monitor 2 monitors for my home office. Obviously going to use the discount
and use Dell.
And so that's what I had to do to get that and make that happen. So just make that happen.
Yeah,
it's awesome.
I need to make a home office, but I don't have space for it. My kids are using up all
imagine
my space.
Imagine if you were going to plan for that space, and then you were like, "Wow, I need a desk. I need a desk to place into Revit. Yep. I need a laptop to place into Revit. A lamp, something else. Where are you going to go, Al?
Arcat.com.
Arcat.com. I think you should go to Arcat.com. Check out Arcat.com for all of your specifications needs, for all your building information, modeling needs, and all of your drawing needs. They're awesome. Thank you to Arcat for sponsoring the podcast. Just go to arcat.com and start building better content today.
Okay. Lance, you tell me what this means. I'm going to read it. It says F9 Productions plus Golden Duplex minus spam plus idea.
That is what I wrote in the show notes today.
We're doing equations. We're doing mathematical equations.
So I've been getting this email. I've been getting these. First, there was like 2 emails that were real cryptic. And I'm really wary of, especially now with everybody working from home, most people working from home, about like not getting tricked, getting fooled into a scam, right? So I got this email. I've been getting a couple of them, and they're like, "Hey, we really like your golden duplex project," and one is from like House or something like that. Where we want to feature it, and we just got published all over the place for Eastwatch House, which is one of our best houses, and then I'm like, oh, maybe we're just on the radar. Maybe people are like,
yes,
people search for us. I know our web traffic went up and stuff like that. So like I'm pretty skeptical. So then I get this third email. The header is F9 Productions Inc. plus Golden Duplex Project. It's really weird. And what it is so it's a new company, and it's We Live, WELIVV.com. And so this guy wrote to me and said, hey, we want to do the Golden Duplex Project. And I said, sure, let's do it. And then he says, hi, Lance, it turns out there are several projects we'd be interested in featuring. And so we will also want to create a profile of your firm, so showcasing your most noteworthy interiors projects. To set everything up, just take a minute to provide us with some basic information and upload your most noteworthy projects using We Live blah 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 Spotlight. At this point, and then there's a code. Please include all requested project and firm information. Blah 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 blah. A lot of stuff. So at this point, I was turned off because I'm like, no, that's just...
It's like setting up a profile on Facebook or whatever. Like,
yeah, I'm just like, I was like, dude, I already have... I know what it was like and how much work it took just to get Eastwatch published in all of these different publications. And then we submitted to a bunch of, a couple awards this year and stuff like that with Architizer and some other places. And I was like, I have no energy for this right now. So I posted this in the Entre Architect community to ask everybody. I said, has anybody else been solicited with these guys? And here's where I'm going with this, Al.
Oh.
So are you on their website too, the We Live? Yeah. So it's like another house. It's literally like another house.
Yep.
And Pamela in the group said, yep, they're trying to be the next house. And I was like, yeah, that's a good point. Using architects' pretty pictures for marketing while selling furnishings, architects need to create their own house where we market our projects and get the profits directly for selling the furnishings we use.
Okay.
So I said, this is an amazing idea.
Yeah, he said, wait.
But then I just remembered why I was even complaining about it in the first place. I got no time to do this. But it's still an amazing idea. What do you think about if so you remember how Evan Troxel was on Mark's podcast recently? I don't know if you listened to it.
I did.
Okay, good. And yeah, because you brought up one of the brilliant points that Evan brought up was like we're all trying to solve these problems in architecture, architect firms, and similar ones. And then we had developed similar apps, similar solutions. And it's like, it's time we just join forces and solve all of that problem. So why don't we do that, right? Shouldn't the same sort of thing happen then if somebody ever decides to do this?
Should.
What do you think, Al?
How do we collectively solve it? Are you saying they're collectively solving this or something else?
I think if we so if I could clone myself right now,
two Lances,
and I could clone Al.
Nice.
Then I think we could finish our business course that we want to do and do do this one as well. I'm just saying somebody should solve this problem. If you're out there and you're looking, let's say
what's the problem you're trying to solve?
The problem is they're trying to create their next house using architects' pretty pictures for marketing while selling furnishings. Architects need to create their own house where we market our projects and get the profits directly for selling the furnishings.
Okay, time out. I thought
it's okay.
Pamela,
see how I had to repeat this to him?
Yes, I thought We Live was giving us the profits. Someone needs to make that website.
Someone needs to make this website.
Mark LePage and Evan. Why don't you talk to Evan? He knows tech stuff.
Mark, Evan, Jeff, and Demetrius need to solve this problem.
Dude, it would take... Because one of the things that is so great about social media is that everyone wants to put up their own stuff. If you give the profits, we will want to put up our own stuff. Mm-hmm. But how do you make sure it's not... So it's exponential growth. How do you make sure it's not sucky, though? Like,
there's got to be like a filter, right? I mean, because you're going to get a bunch of it's. There's got to be a review process. There's got to be some kind of a standard set, right?
God.
Either way, you get.
I think Mark
at a surface level, Pamela, brilliant idea. I think somebody should do it. I hope it's. I don't know.
I hope it's those guys. I hope.
I don't have time. I don't have time.
No. Nope. I don't know if any of those guys have times, but I think Mark listens to every podcast, so he should.
If he knows somebody that has time, then he should get in touch with them. So
Enoch is business minded too.
I knew
it can be collaborative.
Yeah, I knew you think that was a good idea.
Yeah.
So there you go. I just wanted to bring that up.
That's good.
And also, I won't be submitting to We Live. Too much work.
Good. Speaking of good ideas, Elon Musk has a few.
Musk. I wouldn't kill to get him on the podcast, but something similar. There's some kind of sacrifice I would do to get him on the podcast one day. He's just if you're not following Elon on Twitter,
you're missing out on
You're
life.
missing out. He's so good. He was actually on Joe Rogan earlier last week, and Joe even asked him, how do you have time to Twitter? And he's like, I have 5 minutes here or there. I got time. He's like, I got time.
Literally, he's probably walking into the car and then like calling someone a stupid name.
Yeah, he doesn't sleep more than 4 hours, so he's got time. It's just like he's just a workaholic. It's great.
Yeah.
So, did you know
he called like Paul Krugman or something stupid in Russian? Like that was his reply. He like typed it in Russian because he like totally mischaracterized what was going on.
Yeah.
Anyways.
So Elon is my hero as of late. He's just fighting for freedom. He's like he's calling out. He thinks a lot of these orders are draconian, and a lot of them are, and whatever. But he sent an email out. So Tesla reopened their Fremont factory 2 days ago, I think 2-3 days ago. It is May 12th.
Monday or Tuesday.
May 10th
Tuesday.
they opened it. Yep, we are recording. It's May 15th, and he sent out an email to his employees. Thanking them for their hard work, and so I just wanted to share it with everybody. So this is Elon. Just wanted to send you a note of appreciation for working hard to make Tesla successful. It is so cool seeing the factory come back to life, and you are making it happen. An honest day's work spent building products or providing services of use to others is extremely honorable. I have vastly more respect for someone who takes pride in doing a good job, whatever the profession, than some rich or famous person who does nothing useful. Gratefully yours, Elon.
So, I mean, we could go off on that. I thought that was great, but it actually kind of segues into what I wanted to talk about.
Sweet.
And I think, like, this is kind of what you've been wanting to say for a long time. So there's this book. It's called Build a Better World in Your Backyard by Paul Wheaton. And I found out about it by this website. It's Ben, and then I'll just spell it, www.bnmunoz.com. And he basically just like gives you the cliff notes of a bunch of different books. So I'm going to do some points in here that I think you'll resonate with, right? Chapter 1, one of the cliff notes is that nearly all environmental problems are solved with a combination of homesteading and permaculture. Right? And then he's basically saying that most people who call themselves environmentalists are probably very wasteful of natural resources. And that's why it connects with Elon. Like the people that actually do something are better than just the intellectuals. And this book is basically saying like the people just say environmental things, but like don't do anything in their own home. Like, this is what me and you kind of get to. Why are you telling all us what to do? And us, I mean like everyone what to do when you're being wasteful. Mm-hmm. How about you don't be wasteful first and then be an example and we won't be wasteful. And I mean, that's what I was doing all week was build my backyard, which we can go into later if we want. Okay, chapter 3. Listen to this title. The Wicked Lies About Light Bulbs. LED light bulbs is a good metaphor for environmental thinking. It sounds environmental friendly, but mathematically, the incandescent bulb is better, lower toxicity, more efficient in cold climates, and better light quality.
Pretty straightforward.
Pretty straightforward. He has other chapters like double the food with 1/10 of the effort. He has some crazy stuff in there. Build a dry outhouse on an elevated mound. urinate near plants and divert the urine to use diluted urine for fertilizer.
Wow, that's intense, bro.
If you're urinating by your plants, I think you maybe took it too far. That's just me. And then he talks about the surprising solution of colony collapse disorder with a very embarrassing simple solution, which is organic beekeeping and conventional beekeeping. So I'm sure he goes into the differences. So if you're interested in this kind of stuff, I'm kind of interested in this stuff. I might buy the book because we're kind of doing that anyways. Or if you're telling people what to do and you don't have a efficient household, like maybe you should check out that book first.
I like it. Yeah. You know what else Elon Musk is? So just leading by example, I think, is just so important. Really, honestly. I mean, in every kind of way. That's why there was Al interviewed. I do listen to the Monday morning episodes that when Al's on with somebody else, because I've never heard of it before, right? And so the last one that he did was, let me see.
Patrick?
See all episodes. Yes.
McLeamy.
Yeah. Patrick
Cleamy.
McLeamy. Patrick McLeamy, sorry. Who is the former CEO of HOK. It was an incredible interview, hour and 2 minutes. And one of the best things that I thought Patrick talked about was it was timely, right? Because you guys talked about COVID. You can't avoid it at this point. And he said, here's what you should do. And he did what a lot of people have been saying is you need to call all of your clients. He goes, but then what you need to do with your employees, you need to be completely honest with them. And you need to talk about, let's say you get into a cash pinch, game plan about, in order for us to keep moving ahead, maybe we all need to take pay cuts. Sure. And then you all do it together. Yeah. And then the best part about that was then he said, we're not doing that, but if you were, and then he said, what you have to do is there has to be something at the end of like the carrot. And so the carrot in this situation was, yes, we're all taking pay cuts. And then once we're in a position to be able to start putting the firm back together and healing the firm or healing the business, then you guys will get healed first. And so we will do whatever we can to make up for those lost wages, and then the boss eats last. Still, the boss is.
I love it.
Yeah.
Yep. What I liked was when he was talking about the approach of big projects that you have, the designer, the architect, and the project manager. And just for smaller projects, you can't do that. You have to be all three in one. But like those distinct roles, just to focus on those roles. Because we have some bigger projects in this firm. And it's like, there has to be a guy for sure doing the work and a guy just managing and communication. Like it's that big of a deal. So good stuff. Listen to that podcast.
You should listen to that podcast. You know what else you should do? If you are sick and tired of your structural engineer, and he or she is slowing you down, and you want to, and you're a licensed architect, or you're even just a builder, and you're looking to avoid an engineer and just prove that this beam works, I would encourage everybody to go to Google, type in Forte, Forte, web software by Weyerhaeuser. And literally, they even say it on their website, whether you're an architect, engineer, design professional, sizing joists, beams, posts, or studs. By the way, they're not paying us or anything like that. They should. Maybe I should reach out to them to be a sponsor. They are awesome. The website came up in the Entre Architect community in a discussion on the Facebook, and so I wrote it down. I sent it out to F9's email. And everybody got it, and then I directed one of my top staff gentlemen to test it on a little addition project that we're doing in Longmont, and we were able to completely eliminate our structural engineer. And the soils have to work too. Somebody else brought this up. Like, make sure you can get down to the sizing your footings and everything, as long as you're obviously you're not having to do caissons, or it's like soil that will bear at least 1,500 PSF. Ours does. It's awesome. It prints out all the calculations. You should give it a shot and see if it works out for you. Even if you don't end up stamping your drawings, like you don't do the structural stuff, maybe you don't want to take that kind of risk. You don't want to add in that liability. Maybe your insurance won't allow you to do it. just so you can get even closer to reality before handing it off to a
Just so
structural
they
eng-
correct like one thing instead of 5 things.
Exactly.
If you're doing the structural drawings,
It's so intuitive to use.
That's
It's
nice.
incredibly intuitive to use. It's completely free, and then it spits out all the calculations for you so you can prove it to the building department. So I just want to share that with everybody.
Awesome.
Al Gore, where are we at next?
Want to do Nick Reeds?
Let's do Nick. Let's hear from Nick. He skipped last week. He was out there fishing.
Cool.
Getting his fish on.
Hello, best friends. I hope you all had a great week this week. A reading. Men, this stuff that some sources sling around about America wanting out of this war, not wanting to fight, is a crock of bullshit. Americans love to fight. All real Americans love the sting and clash of battle. You are here today for 3 reasons. First, because you are here to defend your homes and your loved ones. Second, you are here for your own self-respect, because you would not want to be anywhere else. Third, you are here because you are real men, and all real men like to fight. When you hear, every one of you were kids, you all admired the champion marble player, the fastest runner, the toughest boxer, the big league ball players, and the all-American football players. Americans love a winner. Americans will not tolerate a loser. Americans despise cowards. Americans play to win all of the time. I wouldn't give a hoot in hell for a man who lost and laughed. That's why Americans have never lost, nor will ever lose a war. For the very idea of losing is hateful to an American. You are not all going to die. Only 2% of you right here today would die in a major battle. Death must not be feared. Death in time comes to all men. Yes, every man is scared in his first battle. If he says he's not, he's a liar. Some men are cowards, but they fight the same as the brave men, or they will get the hell slammed out of them watching men fight who are just as scared as they are. The real hero is a man who fights even though he's scared. Some men get over the fright in a minute under fire. For some, it takes an hour. For some, it takes days. But a real man will never let his fear of death overpower his honor, his sense of duty to his country, and his innate manhood. Don't ever let up. Don't ever think that your job is unimportant. Every man has a job to do, and he must do it. Every man is a vital link in the great chain. What if every truck driver suddenly decided that he didn't like the whine of those shells overhead, turned yellow, and jumped headlong into a ditch? The cowardly bastard could say, "Hell, they won't miss me, just one man in 1,000. But what if every man thought that way? Where the hell would we be now? What would our country, our loved ones, our homes, even the world be like? No, goddammit. Americans don't think like that. Every man does his job." An excerpt from General George Patton's speech to the Third Army, June 5th, 1944. Have a great weekend.
I'm actually glad he didn't end with Toodles. It wouldn't have been appropriate.
No, not with Pat.
Not with Patton.
Get after it. Get it done. You can do more than you think you can do.
And even, again, going back to Al's Monday morning episode this week with Patrick, is there's no job, even the dirtiest, stupidest job needs to be done, right?
Yeah.
So like, even as a general contractor, so this past week we've been roofing, putting on this awesome roofing material actually, and so seamless standing seam, and it's been me and three other guys, so 4-man crew, and I've been the cut man, but it's not beneath me to go pick up garbage. Like, So Al's talking, you're talking about this other guy, Build a Better World, right?
Yep.
If I don't pick up the garbage, then the garbage goes somewhere else. Like, then what am I going to pull my guys off the roof? Like, even as a general contractor, business owner, like, it's not beneath me. It's still an important job. I still have to get it done. It still has to be done.
Now that you mention it, remember me and you, like, sometimes on the tiny house, we'd come to work on the weekends, right? My favorite job on the job site, besides maybe running around and solving problems, is cut man. I love being cut man. I don't know why. Like, they just shout down measurements to you. Cut it. Here you go. What's the next one? Cut man. Cut man.
Get it going.
Do you like being cut man?
I love being cut man.
Yeah. It's a good job.
Absolutely.
Cool. Let's bring down everyone and do some ARE Jeopardy.
Wow, it's been a while.
It's been a minute.
We're out of quarantine. Here we go.
Which is not part of the egress system? A, exit. B, access. C, exit access. D, exit discharge. Which is not part of the egress system? Doo-doo-doo, doo-doo-doo, doo-doo. Okay. B, C, B. So B is the answer. Access.
Makes
the
sense.
3 parts all have the word exit in them. Okay. Question 2, which is not one of the 4 methods available for historic preservation, which is not. A, preservation. B, restoration. C, conservation. D, rehabilitation. A, preservation. B, restoration. C, conservation. D, rehabilitation. D, D, C. The answer is C. Conservation is not one. That's what Teddy Roosevelt did. He conserved stuff.
Because you're not preserving it, you're conserving it. Okay.
What?
By the way,
no, preserve it. You can preserve, restore, rehabilitate, and I forgot what the 4th one was.
but not conservation.
Nope, can't.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's preservation,
Yeah.
not conservation. I get it. By the way, speaking of that, did you do 703 3rd Avenue? Have you driven by there? Oh, it's awesome. You should see our historical porch.
Oh,
Downtown Longmont.
does it look just like
It
the
looks
old one?
exactly. We did a good job.
Gotcha.
Yep. After the government yelled at us. They said you can't do concrete. You got to do blah, blah, blah. Okay. Number 3. What does the acronym MWFRS stand for? Okay, I'm going to repeat. What does the acronym MWFRS stand for? Is it A, Military Western Front Resistance System?
Yes. Yes, it is.
Or is
it is that one.
Or is it B, Main... Whoops, I got to shut that off. Or is it B, Main Wind Force Resisting System? C, Mainstream Wildfire Forest Replacement System? D, Mandatory Window Framing Restitution Standard? Do you need those repeated? Or are you just guessing? Are we guessing? Okay. That was hard to type. D, B, D. The correct answer is B. Main Wind Force Resisting System. The rest I completely made up.
Well,
Completely.
It does stand for Military Western Front Resistance System. Like everyone knows that.
Number 4.
You know, someone in the government's listening. They're like, we're going to use that.
Do you know Joe said CIA people listen to his podcast and write to him sometimes?
Oh,
That
really?
Blew me away.
Did you listen to the one with Charles Manson?
No.
Please do.
Okay, I will this weekend.
Yeah.
Number 4. What are the 3 types of forces that a retaining wall must resist? Okay, so you're going to name 3 of them, okay? You're going to do A, lateral, B, overturning, C, sliding, D, soil pressure. Need a repeat of the whole thing? Okay, all the answers. A, lateral, B, overturning, C, sliding, D, soil pressure. Here we go.
Boop, 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 boop.
We have ABD, ABD, ABD. You're all wrong.
A, B, C.
Nope, you're wrong too. B, C, D.
Not lateral.
Lateral is it's not. I mean, yes, but no.
Because
So you're Correct.
Is that it?
NCARB, hire me. I don't know. Who won? Did we?
3-0.
All right.
Mark called it. He said he was going to destroy everyone and rub their faces in it for the rest of the day, and that's what he did.
Cool. I'm going to save the tiebreaker for next time.
Yep. If you don't want your face rubbed in how much you suck at Revit, you should go to RevitRocketShip.com. Check it out. It's what Lance and I teach everyone here at the firm, students, and then also other professionals. RevitRocketShip.com. Go check it out. Guaranteed to rock. If you don't like it, we'll give you your money back.
If any of you out there send in even just one question this week for us to answer on air, Alex will send you a free copy of his book, The Creativity Code, in PDF format. So send us your questions. We love answering them on air. We'll talk to you next week.